Hi guys, I'm Kaylin Gregory and today I will be filming a tutorial on how to make cinnamon rolls. But wait, I don't want to do this alone. I have brought my friends to help me. Okay, this is Anya, Meichi, Yinhui and Iskandar, and today they will be helping me bake cinnamon rolls. Yay!
Okay, so first up, we want to add 4 cups of flour. Flour provides the structure of the cinnamon roll by forming gluten, which gives the dough its soft and chewy texture. Okay, and next up is 1/4 cup of sugar. Sugar adds sweetness and helps with browning. It also provides food for yeast to help the dough rise. For this recipe, we went ahead and used brown sugar. Okay, and next up is 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Salt enhances the flavor and balances the sweetness. It also helps control yeast activity so the dough does not rise too quickly. You can see me here instructing my friend on how to pour the salt. Okay, and next we have 2.5 teaspoons of dried yeast. Yeast makes the dough rise by producing gas, creating a light and fluffy texture. Right after this, you'll want to mix all your dry ingredients first because it helps spread ingredients like yeast, sugar, and salt evenly throughout the flour so that the dough has a consistent texture and flavor. Okay, so for the next step, we are meant to add 4 tablespoons of melted unsalted butter. But we didn't know how many grams that was, so we went ahead and googled, and then it turns out 57 grams of butter is 4 tablespoons. So we add butter in this recipe because it adds richness, flavor, and moisture. It also helps make the rolls soft and tender, which is of course what we want. And you can go ahead and melt your butter in the microwave. Alright, next up we want to add 1 cup whole milk. Milk adds moisture and improves the texture, which makes the dough softer. It also contributes to a richer flavor. After you've added the melted butter into the batter, you're going to want to add the milk, but you're going to want to do it bit by bit. You do this because it allows the liquid to spread evenly through the flour, which creates a smoother dough without dry patches. This is because adding too much liquid at once can cause uneven mixing and create clumps of flour, which we don't want. Alright, so once you're done mixing the wet ingredients with the dry ingredients, you add 1 egg. Egg adds structure and richness while helping create a softer, smoother dough. It also gives a slightly golden color when baked. Okay, so you guys want to take your time and mix the batter to ensure that the dough is smooth and nice. Right, so after that, you can go ahead and transfer your batter to a bigger bowl. This is because while we allow the dough to rest for 2 hours, it's going to expand. So the reason we cover the dough in saran wrap is to keep moisture in so that it stops the dough surface from becoming hard or crusty. But don't forget to poke holes to allow gases to escape. After about 2 hours, the dough will rise. This is because the yeast produces gas which causes the dough to expand and become light and fluffy.
Okay, hi guys, we've waited 2 hours for the dough to rise. So now it's time to roll it out and bake. Wait, low key, can we switch it up?
What you can see us doing is putting flour on a mat so we can roll out the dough easier. This is because the flour creates a barrier between the dough and the surface, which makes it easier to roll and shape. Now, we used a mat to do this, a silicone mat to be specific, but if you guys do not have that, you can still use normal counters or a table or anything. We also decided to separate the batter into 2 so it would be easier for us to manage and roll. Here I'm explaining to my friend that there's a certain way you have to roll the dough and you have to do it quick and smoothly so that it doesn't stick. So since we had about 4 people including myself here, we separated into teams of 2 so that half of us could roll the dough while the other half could prepare the filling for the cinnamon rolls. For the filling of the cinnamon rolls, you want to add 1 cup of brown sugar and 3 tablespoons of cinnamon powder. So of course, the cinnamon provides warm, spicy flavor that gives the cinnamon rolls their signature taste. We add sugar because it gives sweetness and creates a slightly caramelized flavor when baked. It also helps make the filling moist and gooey. So after you're done rolling out the dough and making the cinnamon filling, you guys want to add some butter to the top of the dough so that when you put on the cinnamon filling, it can stick nicely. Alright, now for the most important part of cinnamon rolls, you have to roll the dough. So you guys want to make sure that you do this nicely and slowly so that you don't mess up. Right, for the next step, you want to add parchment paper on top of your baking trays, but we didn't really have any, so if you don't have any either, you can just butter your pan so that the cinnamon rolls don't stick to the pan. Next, you guys want to go ahead and put your cinnamon rolls in an oven to bake for about 20 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius.
Hey, our first tester goes to Iskandar.
Right, so I've just given a little bit of the cinnamon rolls to my friend to try, and he said, wait, it's not bad, it's good. So that's it, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you managed to learn how to bake awesome cinnamon rolls.